This is a solemn day in our nation's history. On September 11th, nearly 3,000 people died as a result of terrorist attacks on our country. That was 21 years ago, but it's a day forever etched in so many minds. I'm Tiffany Tarpley, in for Jerry Anderson on this edition of Leading Edge. Well, there are local memorials to remember the sacrifices and the lives lost on 9/11, including one at Toledo Memorial Park in Sylvania. Well, joining me now is the president and CEO, Jeff Clegg. Jeff, welcome to the show. Well, Jeff, we definitely want to talk about this memorial. This piece is really specific to first responders, but there is part of the World Trade Center with it. Talk a little bit about how this came about.
Well, when I started at Toledo Memorial Park back in 2010, I had recently visited Ground Zero a couple of years before that. And even in 2006, when I was there was just the two large holes were still in the ground, and they were still excavating, trying to get everything out of there so they could start rebuilding. And I have to tell you, it was really a moving experience. And I thought if I could ever do anything to honor those men and women that died trying to save everyone in the World Trade Center, I was going to do that. Fast forward a few years, I became president of Toledo Memorial Park, and that kind of gave me it gave me the tools that I needed. And I started writing to the 9/11 procurement department in New York. And after a couple of years, they finally awarded me a piece of the World Trade Center. And it's a 14,000 pound beam. It's approximately 18 feet long, and it's just a massive piece of steel. And we were able to really design a beautiful memorial around that.
You know, I haven't been able to see it up close. I've only been able to see pictures of it, but I guess even what were your first thoughts when you saw that memorial finally come together?
Well, it's strange. It was quite a moving experience for me, because I had never seen this piece of steel, but I had made a drawing back in 2011, and if you compare the drawing that I made, I'm not a very good artist, but it's kind of a stick figure thing. If you compare that drawing with what actually was built, it's eerily similar. So when I actually saw it, and they set that beam in 2016 on there, it was an amazing sight to see that something that I had in my mind's eye actually came to fruition, and there it was, and you know, in this grand fashion. So it's a dream that actually came true for me.
And you talk about the drawing, you talk about the significance of what it looks like. Talk about the significance of the name Last Call Memorial.
Well, the ringing of the bell for a firefighter, it's called their final bell, and then for the police, they have their final call. So we kind of combined the two together, and so we could honor all of our first responders there. The ringing of the bell that we actually cast on site there as well, is 343 for the 343 firefighters that died on 9/11 at the World Trade Center. So when we do that, it's a very moving thing, because not only are we honoring those from 9/11, we're honoring all of our local first responders that come to our aid when we need it every day. So that's what we wanted to kind of tie together is, you know, locally we have all of these people that go to work every day to take care of us. And so that was the main goal, is to bring everyone together and show the first responders how much we need them and respect them.
Yeah, honor those who give so much of themselves to help us, right, in our time of need.
Correct.
Is this a memorial that people can see at any time?
Yes, it's in the back of our park. Our park's open from sunrise to sunset, and it's all the way in the back in the northeast corner. And there are a couple of little signs that'll kind of get you back there. But yeah, it's open, and it's quite a moving memorial to see. So I invite everyone to come out and just go back and just take a look at it.
Yeah, and I think it's good. It's good for people to remember that it's there, because every year, every September 11th, you try to do some sort of ceremony. So that is something for people to keep in mind as well. Are there any plans? I mean, it seems so massive and so significant, so important how it is. Do you want to add to it at any point? Have you thought about that?
Well, I think it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Really do. I think it does what it's intended. It honors our first responders. We have a bell out there so we can ring it at the ceremony. We probably could update some of the plantings and things around there to really step up our game. But I mean, if you drive back there and see it, I think you'll see what I mean. The beam itself is propped up on this large base, and then attached to that is a crane jib with the American flag hanging from it. And so that was kind of, we tried to tie together, the devastation of that day and the heartbreak that caused the whole nation. And then the crane jib on the end was to signify us rebuilding and coming together as a nation, and as you all recall that we did. And then the American flag. Well, the jib is just a cool place to hang the American flag. So,
well, Jeff, I appreciate your time so much. Are there any last things you'd like to say about Toledo Memorial Park?
Well, 2022, we're celebrating our 100th year anniversary, and we have various memorials and monuments here that are really significant to the area. We have a veterans memorial that was built for World War I veterans. It's an 85-foot tower right in the middle of our park. So we've always been known as the veterans cemetery. We have over 14,000 veterans buried here at Toledo Memorial Park. And we'd also like to be known as the first responder cemetery, because that whole area around that memorial is just dedicated for first responders and their families. So yeah, come out and see it. You'll I think you'll know why I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, I'll definitely will have to. Well, Jeff, thank you so much Thank you so much for your time. I truly appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
We'll be right back. Well, it is an opportunity to celebrate our vibrant community through arts and culture. And joining me now is Tess Healy. She is the coordinator for Momentum. Tess, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, and so this is an awesome event, and we are talking about just one day here. This is a 3-day festival. What can people expect?
So they can expect to have just the most fun in Toledo that they can. Momentum is really just all about Toledo's arts and culture and just celebrating everything that it has to offer.
And what is interesting, I think, about this year is it is the year of glass, right? The International Year of Glass. How are you working to incorporate that over these 3 days?
Yeah, so that's a huge highlight this year. Since Toledo is the glass city, we want to celebrate every aspect of glass that it has. So all of the companies that started here, the studio glass movement that happened in 1962, the artists that we have in Toledo, and also the studios. We're really just putting a highlight everything glass in Toledo.
And one thing I was seeing that it says that there is a little something there for everyone. What does that mean? I mean, give me an idea. Walk me through day one. What are we going to see? Maybe day two. Are there some highlights that you're really thinking about and looking forward to?
Absolutely. So we're kicking off with the art loop this year, Dancing in the Streets, that'll be happening on North St. Clair, as well as an after party that's a silent disco in Promenade Park. And something that's happening throughout the entire festival is a little something for everyone. We are hiding ornaments from studios around Toledo that people can find and then keep. So just a little way to celebrate the International Year of Glass. We'll have glass blowing demonstrations Friday and Saturday. We'll have artist market on Saturday that's really highlighting our glass artists and pop-up murals, and just everything you could ever want.
In planning this, I can only imagine what goes into that. But is there anything you think that might be, you mentioned a couple of things, right? International Year of Glass, the things that people can find. Anything kind of new and interesting this year that might be different from years past?
Absolutely. The fact that it's the International Year of Glass is definitely the biggest change. So we're really putting a theme this year, which is very new. And of course, the theme is glass.
Okay.
So just really pushing that forward.
And so, you talk about it being kind of something for everyone. Are there are most of the events free? How do people find out about it?
Absolutely. So we have free events the entire weekend. The only event you'll have to pay for is if you want to go see Patti LaBelle on Friday night. But we'll also have an event at Uptown Green on Friday that will be free to the public. And we'll also have glass blowing and live bands and everything like that. So you won't have to pay for any of the experiences.
That is great. Can you talk a little bit about why something like this is so important, making art accessible to the entire community?
Absolutely. I might be biased, but I think art is one of the most important things to have available to the public. And we really just want to highlight everything that Toledo shows, because Toledo really is such a beautiful, artful city. And it's so important for people to have access to that and to be able to have fun and express themselves creatively and to know what's out there and really just bring attention to all of the artists and all of the experiences and possibilities in Toledo.
And are the artists local? Are they from across the country, across the world?
Yeah, so we do have some anchor art installations that are interactive, and those are national and international. We have one from Canada as well, but every else will be highlighting local artists.
Okay. Volunteers, do you need help putting this event on at this point, or making sure the events, are smooth and there are no issues?
We love volunteers for any of our events. And if you look at our website, not only will we have the schedule for Momentum, as well as an outline of all the projects that are going on, we'll have a map going up there as well, and a list and to sign up to, because people who volunteer and help out.
And can you say that one more time, because it broke up just a little bit?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So on our website, you'll find a schedule for the event and a list of programs that explains everything that's going on, as well as you'll be able to find a sign-up sheet to volunteer for the entire weekend and for any of our other events as well.
Perfect. And just curious, is there a certain emotion or a certain feeling you'd want people to walk away with after enjoying Momentum over that weekend?
Just excitement. There's so much that you can do in Toledo, and there's so much to find and so many different ways to enjoy it. And I think people who maybe moved here during the pandemic and haven't had time to explore and find all of those really cool things that they can do, maybe just a sense of home.
And just really quick as we wrap it up, when is it? What times? Give us the dates, everything we need to know.
Absolutely. So Momentum this year is September 15th through September 17th. Mostly be in Promenade Park down on the riverfront. And it'll be from 5 to 10 p.m. on Thursday, September 15th, and Friday, September 16th, and then 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday, September 17th.
All right, Tess, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Can't wait to enjoy such a wonderful event.
Tiffany, thank you so much for having me.
Well, coming up, I'm going to introduce you to another local organization working to make sure that our young people have a positive experience right here in Toledo. Well, the goal of our next organization is to ignite the power of promise in our youth. Our next guest is Dr. Marvin Whitfield. He is the CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters, Northwest Ohio. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Tiffany. Thank you for having us.
Good morning. So first of all, talk a little bit about Big Brothers Big Sisters, Northwest Ohio. You really cover several different communities or several different counties here within our area.
Yes, we cover the Lucas and Wood County area, offering a multitude of services. And I'm proud to say that after coming on board in January 2020, we've worked towards moving forward to expand our program. So we actually go beyond just mentoring to meet the needs of the community.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I feel like that's really what I know Big Brothers Big Sisters to be all about, kind of like that one-on-one mentoring. What other programs have you implemented?
Yes. So one of the first things they asked me to come on board and help rebuild, redevelop, redesign the organization was to conduct the research and identify the needs within the community. And after my third month here, we went to a shutdown because of COVID. And so that was another impact, which I think, even though harmful to our society, but also very informative. We identified other areas we need to look into, especially when it comes to trauma. Also the isolation that was associated with COVID. And so in response, everybody on our team now is trauma-informed trained. We do at least 80 hours of training every year in the space of suicide prevention, because unfortunately we've seen over the past couple of years, the age dynamics have changed. Now between age 10 and 24, we've seen an unusual spike in suicides. And so we kind of focus on the area of trauma, leadership development, cultural competency due to what's going on in society as it relates to race, career development, and life skills.
Wow, that's really big to think about that, tackling all of those issues. And I think they're so important when it comes to dealing with young people. What age range are you working with here when it comes to young people?
So that's another thing. I'm kind of breaking all the rules as an affiliate, right? So it's supposed to be focused on mentoring in a certain age range, 5 to 18. But our so that's our primary target, 5 to 18. Primary goal is mentoring, but like I said, we do secondary. So we do we have a new program called Empowering Future Leaders, to where we take it to the next level. But also we kind of focus on the home dynamics. So we've made several partnerships to where we can collaborate, to where when we bring a child into our program, during the course of interviewing the parents, if they have any identified needs, we do referral services.
Okay. And if there's a parent who's watching this right now, or someone who knows a child that could really benefit from this, what's the best way to get involved with the program, to reach out?
Yeah, we're real easy. So I know everybody's in technology now. So you can go to our website at bbbsnwo.org, bbbsnwo.org. Also, you can go to our Facebook, same address, or you can just give us a call at area code 419 243-4600, 419-243-4600. And one of our specialists walk you through the process.
All right. Would you say a specific type of student would do better going through Big Brothers Big Sisters Northwest Ohio, or is it open to anyone?
Anyone. So initially that was the original design. And I only can speak because like over 300 plus affiliates in the United States. But I found I'm retired law enforcement. So I can tell you, kids are in affluent areas get in trouble just like kids in underserved areas. And so that's one thing we did. We start opening up to all kids, because also when we bring these kids together and do functions, it's great. It's great and it's inspiring to cross-culturally introduce children. So you don't have to fall on a certain grant, you have to fall in a certain space, but we do fundraising, things of that nature, to take all kids in. And we have kids anywhere from Perrysburg all the way over into Lucas County. So we turn nobody away.
And you talked a little about fundraising. How can our viewers maybe help you? Do you have any events coming up, or any ways that we can financially support?
I'm glad you asked that question. So all nonprofits stay in the fundraising mode, because we're always trying to build and be better. But mine is more focused. When you have great results, I'm very data driven, people want more services. So we've seen a 200% jump in requests for services this year with our Empower Future Leader program and our M3 program in schools. So we also do in-school programming. And so right now we're trying to secure more funding to expand our services within the school system. And we're actually a course, because we're everything's data driven for a curriculum that can be taken as a class. And again, we go all the way from elementary to high school. It's the Empower Future Leader program concept. And so I hate telling anybody no. So I always take on the task and figure out how we're going to pay for it later on. And so right now we're trying to fundraise in that space, but also we have one of our biggest fundraisers towards the end of the year is our Angel Tree and Gift of a Match, which will start kicking in October. But like I said, again, we're trying to cover the cost of some expansion this year to multiple schools that we've taken up on our wings.
Right. And so I'm assuming you're always looking for volunteers as well. How can people help in that way?
Yeah, so another thing I modified was people thought when they volunteer, well, originally how it was set up, if you volunteer with us, you had to do a 1-year commitment, 4 hours a month, mentoring a child. Well, we've kind of modified that. So we'll talk about the mentoring piece first. So I tell people, and I'm a big also, I say it's only 4 hours a month, which is technically 40 hours a year. That's 2 days out of your life to have a positive impact. But we modified it to where it's flexible to you and your schedule because of technology. It can be through Zoom, it can be through texting. It's really putting a person in that child's life to where when they need somebody to talk to, they need to make a tough decision, they're going through a crisis, availability. Also, we have a Zoom platform to where if you don't have your own Zoom, we can set up the meeting for you. But then also we created a space to where you can sign up as a volunteer, go through the background check, and when your schedule allows, you call us up and we have something for you to do. And there's a lot of times fun things, like matter of fact, this month, come in October, not this month, but in October, we also give back to other charities. So the zoo do a lot of work with us. And so we support them by purchasing a booth at the Pumpkin Path and passing out candy. Now, who wouldn't want to volunteer and pass out candy, right?
Right.
And the fun thing about it is when you finish, you volunteer for an hour or two, then you get a chance to walk around and enjoy the zoo yourself and collect candy. So we do all kinds of things that if you want to just donate a block of time once a year, we have all kinds of programs that you can assist us with.
All right. Well, Dr. Whitfield, thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
I thank you for having us again.
We'll be back. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this Sunday edition of Leading Edge with Jerry Anderson. I'm Tiffany Tarpley. Have a great day.